Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Do You Ever Wonder podcast. Ever find yourself wondering about the world's biggest topics? Join your host, Mike Haltman, CEO, board chair, and all-around deep thinker, as he dives into real estate, investing, national security, self-improvement, dating, networking, finance, and so much more. Expert guests, real conversations, no limits. Hit subscribe and get ready for insights, surprises, and conversations that will make you think. The Do You Ever Wonder podcast starts now.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike Haltman. I am the host of the Do You Ever Wonder podcast. And I say it every time I do a podcast episode, that intro really makes me sound like something. I have to use that more often. Welcome to our guest. We've had a guest on prior who is an expert, an icon in the New York City marketplace, Bob Knackel. And today we have Ron Koenigsberg, who is an expert on the Long Island market. In addition to you dabble in the boroughs, right?
Correct. Yes, correct. And Michael, thanks so much for having me on. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thanks very much. Let's have some fun with it. Let's put together some great content for our listeners today.
Beautiful. So, Ron, you're the president of American Investment Properties.
Correct. For 24 years now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I try to be the dominant market leader in commercial real estate investment sales on Long Island, Nassau and Suffolk counties. I've been successful, I think, twice. I've been named Broker of the Year twice, voted twice. And,
well, I know 2017. When else?
Correct. 2024.
Ooh.
2024. Correct.
Well, you know what? You have to add that honor to your how do you say it? Bonafides? To your accomplishments. I only saw 2017.
Oh, okay. We will certainly update. I think probably you were referring to our website. But thank you. So, yeah, more importantly, let's discuss Do You Ever Wonder?
Wow. So, Do You Ever Wonder? The name says it all. So, as you heard from the intro, we cover a variety of topics, real estate certainly, but really anything that people or I wonder about, I try and get the guests on who are the experts. I've had KGB agents. I've had a guy who invented a what do you call it, mouth guard that supposedly cures TMJ. And the dating part, I've had two sisters who created an AI-generated dating app where you put in your face, it scans your face, determines what your personality is, and matches you up. So I asked my wife if I could do that, but she wasn't that into me trying. So maybe
completely understand. Well, yeah, I have a girlfriend, and I am divorced, and I did meet her through. I am not going to hold back. I did meet her through Hinge, which is a dating app.
Absolutely.
It wasn't artificial intelligence. I think I swiped, and perhaps I got lucky enough that she swiped.
That's
yeah, but I will say this, I do think that dating is hard. And I think that online dating, while it has its challenges, just for busy executives, it's hard to meet people. I think it's a great, I think it's a great thing out there. And yeah, it really is. 6 years,
Wow.
6 years, 6 years, 6 years.
That's a little bit beyond dating, I think, but
Me too. Yeah, it's going great.
That's
engagement coming soon, but I think your listeners are more interested in learning about sales.
Well,
I think that
actually they are, but I also have a couple of questions. You have in some of your posts, you include an American flag in the background, and I'm wondering what inspires that.
Sure. I'm a deeply patriotic person. The name of my company is American. It is, I'm a patriotic guy. I have the flag. I don't know. I thought everyone did. Love our country. And
well, you know what? I mean, I certainly love our country. I'm the board chair of a combat veteran charity.
Oh,
that also has an Israel component to it. but unfortunately, I don't know that everybody loves our country. But
I didn't even think about it for a minute. I always have flags around,
no, 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 I'm not
and
saying that. I think it's
yeah,
fantastic. I think you should
yeah.
wear your patriotism on your sleeve. I think that's great.
Certainly, yeah, I do. I have a flag around a lot. I'm super proud
Good for you.
to be an American.
No,
American Investment Properties.
that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful name. So, what's your journey to there? I know you've been in big corporate America, actually Japanese. You working for a Japanese company, if
I
I
did. I
recall.
did. Out of grad school, they were really the ones hiring. Out of NYU, I have my master's degree in real estate development and investment. And when I came out, I think I was 24. They were looking to scoop up the best and the smartest guys coming out of grad school. I did. I went and we did some major acquisitions for that particular corporation. But then I really found that my love is real estate, but selling it. I was able to combine um, real estate with selling commercial real estate. I've never sold a home. I don't know much about homes.
Well, you know what? I used to own a commercial mortgage company, and certainly commercial real estate is much more complicated than getting the comps on a few local homes. So I give you credit.
Thank you. Yeah,
And, it had to take a little bit of guts to leave corporate America and strike out on your own.
absolutely. Everything takes guts. It's something that uh, I I'm reading a new book. I can plug it because I think it's just terrific. It's not mine. It's called The Sequence by Alan Buchanan. And the reason why I mention it is he says in there that we need to um, learn to work out loud. And what he means by that is share on social media, particularly LinkedIn, how we do things, what our thinking is, what happens behind the scenes. Alan is also a major top producer, along with, I know all these gentlemen through something called the Massimo Group.
Hmm.
I was a,
Been on the podcast.
Okay. So, Bob is a member of the Massimo Group. Alan,
Absolutely.
I have been in and around the Massimo Group since 2013. So, going on 12 years. I was an active member for 8, and always looking around for new ideas. But the point is that we were all started to embrace social media as a business, not as a dating app, but as a business app. So I think we're all enjoying it. We're all communicating.
Well, I know that Bob Knackel has become kind of a social media superstar. I watched that from the beginning, and
Right.
I know he attributes a lot of his, well, not a lot, but some success, recent success, to the fact that he's made phenomenal contacts through social media, and
He's amazing. I
you
mean,
would tend to agree.
oh yeah, nah. Listen, Bob's he's he's first off the most approachable guy, the most
Yep.
generous guy. He does a lot of things right, so I try to spend as much time as I possibly can learning from him. But yeah, he embraced LinkedIn about the same time that I did. We share a very close friend of mine, Rod Santamassimo from the Massimo Group,
Sure.
and as his coach and probably his best friend. So yeah, I was told to stop messing around by Rod on LinkedIn and also on ChatGPT, and I did both. I did both.
Now, what do you do on ChatGPT? I know what you do on LinkedIn, and you're
Sure,
genuine, you're authentic, and you give good thoughts and advice.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That comes natural. That comes natural. I've heard that a lot about, people who follow me on LinkedIn. They say, you're just authentic. I don't know any other way. I've never been any different. Maybe there are some people out there that are saying, hey, look at this deal I just posted. No, I'm in there saying, hey, look at this mistake I just made. Don't do this.
Right.
Don't do this. Or this worked for me. Um, yeah, I think that I got leveled in life. I was born dyslexic, and I just Yeah, what happens is your job as a kid is to be a good student. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't read and retain information. And no one at that point, I'm 61, said, "Hey, listen, your your brain is working just fine, except you can't read." So I was just failing and failing and failing. And I think that because my baseline became failing, that I live an authentic life. I don't pretend to be something that I'm not.
It's fantastic. You know what?
Mm,
Authenticity, gratitude, all of those things are
yeah,
critically important. But it shines through on LinkedIn. But
I hope so.
how do you how do
I
you
use
utilize
ChatGPT.
yeah, how do you utilize that other than
Okay,
asking it
sure.
questions?
Right. It's not Google. It's not to ask it questions. No, this is my best friend and super, super smart person. The first thing is while I'm dyslexic, I don't write emails anymore into emails. I write emails into ChatGPT. And, I really, the first thing that I do is I say to ChatGPT, your role is to be I just bought the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Your role is to help me learn how to use my new iPhone with the iOS 26, and said, what I'm trying to do. So I say that always. Your role is to help me make my company better. What I'm trying to do is go from my baseline sales of 17 or 15 a year to 20 a year or more. So I'm always communicating with ChatGPT 24/7. I've uploaded all my deals into them. And as a deal, for instance, got pushed back a week today, how's our cash flow? I, you know, I don't like when people say I use it for everything, because everything means nothing. I use it constantly to write all my emails. I use it constantly if I'm looking at something like, for instance, my posts. I don't write well. I use it all the time with my posts. Some of my replies on there too. Be honest with you. Some people write some nasty things. Chat GPT says stuff like, "I appreciate the pushback." I use it to communicate to the world better. I don't use it as a Google replacement. I do use it as planning and as listen. I literally said to ChatGPT yesterday, based upon what you know about me, not what I want. What do I need to read to make my company better?
And it gave you how
E-Myth.
many ideas?
One. One. It said, "Ron, you're very good at what you do. You have no systems. You need to have systems to fall back on." Nothing could have been better advice.
Really? So when they say systems, meaning deal flow, how you track, what kind of
Sorry.
systems? That's okay.
Sure, I understand.
We're an imperfect podcast.
Sure. Systems, if you've ever seen um, the movie about McDonald's, I believe it's called, it's about Ray Kroc. It's called The Founder. And the reason why I mention that is because he, on a basketball court, I'm sorry, on a tennis court, said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to put the fryer here." And he positioned everything. If you haven't seen the movie, The Founder, it's about McDonald's. But more importantly, it's about a system that is easily duplicatable.
And
So I've said to
as
people,
efficient as
and
possible.
efficient, and efficient. Right. He went from one restaurant with the McDonald's brothers to all over the planet
Right.
because he had a system that was duplicatable. So that's what ChatGPT said to me. And to be honest with you, I could not agree more.
So it
There's
usually
one
has no
thing
systems or limited systems just based on your conversations with it.
that's thinking, that is advanced artificial intelligence. That's the intelligence part. I'm looking for books on how to broker deals better. I picked up The Sequence. I want to know from Alan Buchanan how he does it. I need a thinking partner for 19.99 a month.
Right.
I have never seen anything help me think as well as this. All right,
That's
so let's
incredible.
talk about thinking. I'm putting in so much information. I want to do things right, particularly as we just mentioned, I'm divorced. Tara is my girlfriend. Love Tara. How am I going to treat her? How am I going to make her feel loved? I got to ask ChatGPT that. Like,
Interesting. So
yeah.
you're trying to avoid the mistakes from your first marriage, or
Oh,
you're
let's go
just
from
trying to make
engagements and marriages. Sure, throw in all the previous women, and I'm trying to communicate better so she feels heard.
well, that word is key to relationships, to business, pretty much to everything we do is communication. That's
There's
what's
one
lacking.
thing, right? If there's one thing, I called Rod Santamassimo January 1st, 2024, which is almost 2 years ago. And he said, Ron, I'm spending more of your money. And I said, well, it makes a lot of sense. He said, at $20 per month, I want you to start messing around with ChatGPT today. And for some reason, whatever Rod says, I just do. Anybody in there watching, anybody watching, lucky enough to watch this podcast, uh, I throw out the same to you. Start messing around with ChatGPT today.
I use
It's
it.
not Google.
I use it every day.
Me too.
Yeah, no, it is a thinker. Definitely is a thinker, and I think that not everybody has bought into that yet, which is probably a good thing.
Oh, you know, I don't know what everybody else is doing. I'll tell you this. For me, I work off two screens. Since ChatGPT, I work off three screens. Email, the one I'm working off of, and ChatGPT to copy and paste the craziness that I'm trying to communicate perfectly into an email.
That's great. Listen, I write a lot, and I've always been a good writer. I used to have a blog with
Oh,
5,000
that's the
readers,
best. Oh, good for you.
but I now look to ChatGPT to write shit because I
I think, right. I think the key that most people aren't getting is you need to over communicate with ChatGPT.
right.
I think of myself as a good writer. I think of myself as a bad writer. I do. I think of myself as a poor writer. I think I am. Your role is to help me. And I say, I need this in my voice, in my voice.
Right.
You
Which is
know, I
that's a critical prompt. They say I don't want it to sound like it's AI generated.
correct,
Right.
correct. And I've said to ChatGPT, what is my voice after 2 years of working with me? And ChatGPT says you speak in a new and they don't you speak in a brash New York, way. You're right to the point. So there's give and take. I'm learning from it. It's learning from me. It is a
Absolutely.
partner.
It is
So
absolutely learning from you. That's one of the concerns some people have about it, is that it's a very quick study. I mean, our things don't matter. What we're asking it to do doesn't matter. It's a fast learner on other things that who knows? Who knows?
right, great, yeah. As far as commercial real estate is concerned, I love it. Um, I want to learn how to use it better.
Hmm.
I have not
So
found one single book that hasn't put me to sleep. I buy these books. How do I use ChatGPT? Well, LLMs, I don't care that it's a large language, model.
so I think my wife signed us up for a course
Me
on.
and you?
Absolutely. You know what? She's out. You're in. But I'll ask her the name, and
Thank you.
if it's something coming up, I'll let you know because she wants to learn about it.
Me too.
So I'll ask her. That's great.
Me too.
That's
Me
great.
too.
So
Me too.
your competition, much like my competition in title insurance, is somewhat fierce. There's you might say that you don't have competition because of what you bring to the table, which is a question for me because, I've in title insurance, people think it's a commodity business, and I disagree. to some, to a decent extent, I put together a list of 10 differentiating factors that make us different. What what makes you different in terms of what you bring to a deal? And I'm imagining some of it has to do with valuing a property, but what do you bring?
Yeah.
What's your allure to a buyer or a seller from the
Sure,
outset?
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we do have competition and it is excellent. My competitors, are trying, really hard. I've looked at this business a little bit differently. I came in with my master's degree. I went for my CCIM. I am about one thing, and that's education. You know, I want to bring the greatest product available. And I love, owning American investment properties for 24 years. We don't skip this very important step. It's the complementary property evaluation. For every deal, whether the seller wants to see it or not going to see it, internally, we are going to produce a 44-page broker opinion of value. No fluff. We're studying cap rates and we're studying price per square foot and we are studying net operating income and we really differentiate ourselves by knowing the property inside and out and knowing the market inside and out. Once we have this 44-page report, then we can really discuss the valuation. Now, we outperform, our evaluations typically in and around 14. It's been 11 to 14%. I'm really proud of that.
Wait, where are you at? Where the valuation generated by your broker opinion letter, you
Yeah,
get 10 to 14% more in price.
yeah. How do you do that? How do you outperform the market when 92% of all brokers, deals have brokers on them? How do you do that? How do you outperform them? How do you, well, marketing, first thing is yes, you got to pay for all the paid platforms, CoStar, LoopNet, CREXi, and several others that I'm not even aware of that, I have a team here a little bit and, they're always on the cutting edge. And we're also reverse. We're all, listen, the bottom line is, and Bob taught me this, and I'm going to share this with everyone here. The likelihood is if you draw a circle around a property, somebody within the first mile to 3, maybe 5 miles on Long Island, maybe 1 mile in Manhattan, will be the new owner of that property. That the new owner, if you stood on the roof, you could look at other buildings and likely find the next owner.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The old idea is you're a real estate broker. You just task the assignment. First thing you do is look left at that owner's building, look right at that owner's building, and start to speak to those two owners immediately.
Is that because they know the neighborhood, they like the neighborhood, and they want to expand their reach in the
Likely,
neighborhood?
depends where they are in life, but those are the two likeliest buyers right out of the gate.
Interesting.
Yes. Don't, stick to the basics.
That's interesting. So,
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time, so I think I've complicated it and I've simplified it. And after 29 years of being a broker, I know look left, look right, no question.
that's great. You know what? That's a very simple process, which is a great way to be. Simple. I like simple. So, what other ways do you differentiate yourself?
Well, really the most important thing is um, I really believe that everything starts with an understanding that, hey, I'm not going to make a dollar here. I will not make $1 on selling your building until it closes. And that is months from now. We are a team. I am the absolute best at what I do. I would never let anyone in my family go to sell a building without me next to them. I've seen all the retrades. I've seen all the smart things that buyers are going to do. I only work for sellers. I only work on Long Island and I only sell investment properties. It's a lot of onlys.
So, ChatGPT would hear what you just said and say that sounds New York brash and arrogant, but
Good.
you truly believe it.
I think that both are correct. I truly believe it. And ChatGPT compares me maybe to other ChatGPT users or the baseline of other people using, the product and say, hey, this is you.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I've asked ChatGPT personal questions as well, and it's interesting how it comes back. So
One of the things that you want to tell it is, please put this into permanent memory.
yes,
The one thing that I don't think that is described enough, and me or you or you and your wife, I don't know if we're going to do this because, she's bumping into our, class. I'm only joking with you. That they're going to teach you is really, really communicate with prompts and instructions, with
yes.
ChatGPT
So
because
you
it
have
doesn't know,
there's
which
like
look.
a nuance, a skill to prompts. Like I'm going by the seat of my pants a lot, and I do try and put in as much detail as possible because without the detail, it's going to come up with not what you're looking for. But
Right. I really love this. Number one, your role is, I'm writing, your role is to help me write this LinkedIn post. I'm writing them all the time, and I don't mind getting help from ChatGPT. What I'm trying to do is write this post. And I tell it I'm being authentic because, I think today's post is I walked into a buyer's home. And I remember my parents were like, we want to buy this brass, I don't know, figure. And it was like $6,000. My parents were like, it was all they talked about. Every time I saw him, it was this brass thing. I went into this guy's house, and there he was. He must have had 10 of them.
oh no.
Yeah, it's just his entire backyard. And I was like, do you mind if I ask you for a moment about those brass? Um, you know, uh, One was a boy, one was a father, and the guy was elated. He was happy, and his wife even more so, to tell me about these cool brass things that my
Sure.
parents were, enamored with. 2 hours later, hour later, we're talking about these things. And I said, listen, I want the exclusive on this property. And he said, no, I don't give exclusives to anyone. And I said to him, but my exclusive is only going to be 30 days. I don't want 90, 120, or a year. Just give me a chance. And he looked at the paper and he signed it. First time he's ever signed an exclusive. Now, was that because I admired the bronze statues? I don't know.
It didn't hurt.
It certainly didn't hurt. And that's today's post. It's authentic. It's true. That moment, I wasn't again, I think that being dyslexic, there's a lot of successful people. I think it's such a challenge that we go through it. We feel, so challenged that it's not about me when I walked in.
And it
Um,
probably increases your level of focus.
I think increase my level of focus and humility. I think I come by humility just very authentically.
Where'd you grow up?
Plainview, Long Island.
Oh, yeah, that's my office is in Plainview,
You're on Manhattan Road or Old Country Road?
Sunnyside Boulevard.
That's where I grew up. That's wild. That's
Is
wild.
that right?
I grew up on Powell Way. It was it's right off it's really, really close to there. That's where I grew up. Yeah.
So we live in Woodbury, so it's a quick commute, and we belong to Cold Spring Country Club by Oheka Castle, so it's a great triangle.
I am going to tell you this. It's just amazing. I grew up in Plainview, and as soon as my parents made a few bucks, uh, I graduated from high school in 1982, and they moved to Woodbury, to the Woodbury Estates on Bristol Drive,
Sure.
like you, because that was so much nicer than Plainview. They lived in Woodbury. And the very next thing was join Cold Spring Country
Is
Club.
that right?
And my parents were members from 1980 until 2010 for 30 years.
Wow.
I literally grew up on that golf course.
No
I
kidding.
love that place, and I
We're
know it like the
working
back of
on
my
this
hand.
now. They're renovating the course. It's beautiful. So you play
And my
golf?
parents, I do not know. I never found a love for it. But I grew up on Cold Spring. I grew up in Cold Spring Country Club. I know that like the back of my hand. Um, and I certainly know Woodbury and Woodbury Estates and Plainview, and we're really two peas in a pod.
That's great. Well, I grew up in North Belmore, so I had never seen a country club. I had never been to a country club till I met my wife, and I find myself Cold Spring is great because it's very low key, and probably was when you were there, and still is now.
I
So
loved it. I really, when I got married, we belonged to a country club for a hot minute. I love people. I do. I like people. I should probably join another one because I enjoy being around people. I think it's a great environment. I do. I
yeah,
do. So, I think it's a great
you know what?
environment.
Yeah. Now you know what? It's a very social, good environment, no question about it. So tell me a little bit about your book.
Power broker. I grew up the son of a commercial of a life insurance salesman. Got really and my dad knew that I was struggling. He handed me a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People, and he said, "This is your Bible. Your brother's going to law school. I'd like you to be an accountant. But if not, you might want to be a salesman." And Think and Grow Rich was, the next book that he handed me. And quite honestly, I think through 30 years of sales success, I've been able to put together a book for the life skills that I think are the most important life skills. Being able to communicate properly. We talk about active listening. We talk about sales, what it takes to be successful, how 80% of sales happen after the fourth ask. We really break down what it takes to be successful in sales. And to me, it's just a big question mark. If 37 or 38% of all industry is predicated on sales, why is nobody teaching everybody in America how to be a salesman? So that's when I dug deeper. I'm just a curious person. 90, 90 colleges in America offer one class on how to sell. There are 4,000 accredited colleges and universities in America, and 90 have one class. So the bottom line is, this is a self-help world. Sales skills are life skills. Sales skills, if you're listening to this and you don't think you're in sales, think again, because you are.
No matter what we do, you're selling something, whether it's yourself or a widget. You're selling something. No,
I don't know, but I've never seen anybody, sell better than, a mom. you know, you're selling to your kids, let's do
yep,
this.
yep. And
You're
if you
cutting
sell the wrong
deals.
way with the empty threats of if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to throw you out of the car. That's an erroneous sales technique.
Right. So I put my heart and soul into a book called Power Broker. I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon. I read it with my with this New York accent of mine, and yeah, I believe the future belongs to those people with these abilities, these sales abilities. Salesmen, commercial real estate brokers, we can outperform doctors and attorneys in income because what we do is challenging. So
Right. No, no question about it. No question about it. So if somebody wanted to reach you, how do they do that?
reach out at, obviously the easiest is my cell phone, 516-757-2695, or Ron, at AIPROPS.com. Maybe we can put it up there, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. Certainly all of us are on there every day. I see you too, Michael.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. I just posted a video about this podcast.
Good for
So,
you.
yeah, no,
Good.
absolutely. So,
Um,
maybe one day you'll join me for lunch at Cold Spring.
Man, nothing. It'd be fun. I haven't been there since 2010.
No kidding.
My dad's turning 90, and
Wow.
they were there really for just 30 great years. We loved it. He loved it.
Where do you
But,
guys go?
in Aventura, Florida,
Uh,
Aventura, Florida, obviously we lived in Plainview, and then of course Woodbury, and then they moved to Aventura, Florida. Life goes on.
Well, I was going to say, if he was still up here, love to have him join us at Cold
Wow,
Spring.
yeah. He was on, yeah, he was like membership committee. He was always on a committee. Yeah,
That's
I was on
right.
a committee.
I
Yeah,
always tell my kids that being in leadership, whatever it is you're doing, is a big plus. You always want to be somebody that is in
sure,
command that people look up.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt. So
No, I'm psyched that through LinkedIn and through commercial real estate that I was able to meet you. It's fun
that's
to no, it's fun to go back and forth. I see your comments on LinkedIn, and I think Microsoft, who owns LinkedIn, is just doing a great job
yeah.
with a really professional. They're keeping it very professional. Um, no one's got any pictures, of it's not Facebook, it's not
No,
Instagram.
no, it's
It's very
business.
professional. It really is.
Absolutely. So actually, I think you and I may have met at the networking event with Bob Knackel in Manhasset. You were
I'm
a
sure.
co-host.
I was a co-host of one of them,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bob is you know, it's humbling. My goal, I sell, 15, 17 deals a year. And, my average deal size, yeah, I'm a student of this, is 2.1 million. Since 1984, Bob has averaged 50
Oh,
deals of over 40 with
yeah.
40 million.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm a student of this. And he's really generous with sharing information. And
Absolutely. And he's
so
generous with his time. I mean, I bugged him for a little while to get him onto the podcast, but he's an extremely generous guy for a guy of his stature.
good dude,
No question. So,
good dude.
Ron, I'd love to have you on sometime in the future
Oh, thank you.
and hear more because
Love that.
you are genuine and authentic.
Thank you. Yeah, let's start with the book Power Broker: How to Be Successful in Business and Life by Ron Koenigsberg. And if anybody reaches out to me, I'll be glad to send them a copy. Really, truthfully, I've got a few hundred copies myself. So,
Okay,
yeah, I'm, again, it can't be, you can't be, you just want to share,
that's
just
great.
want to share.
I might send you
Thank
my
you.
address.
Please,
All right.
please
Well,
do.
listen, Happy New Year, and we will see each other soon. I'll reach out and we'll have lunch at Cold Spring.
Let's hear the outro. I like the intro to the show. Let's hear the
Here,
outro.
here it comes, baby.
Here it comes.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. That's a wrap for this episode of Do You Ever Wonder? Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and drop us a review. We'll be back soon with more insights, experts, and conversations that make you think. See you next time. Do you ever wonder where curiosity meets conversation?